I am Zeus, and my features for this episode.
I'm Kyra, Oriana.
I'm King.
Today we're going to be talking about the topic of entrepreneurship, professionalism, branding, and business, pretty much. Kyra here has been like a really good friend of mine for years. We've known each other since high school, and I've been able to personally watch her journey into becoming her own entrepreneur, and I'm very proud of her, so I wanted to feature her on this episode. And King, we just met recently, and he does a lot of his own management. He throws his own events, his open mics, he does music, he has a couple of artists and stuff like that. So we're going to get a little bit more into it. I'm going to have them introduce exactly what they do and talk more about it for you guys. Feel free to take some notes or some pointers so you can begin your own journey if you're looking towards entrepreneurship. So I'm going to start with a brief introduction right now with who they are, what they do, where they're from, stuff like that. So what exactly do you guys do?
I do hair. I recently just started a YouTube channel. I switched between both. I went to cosmetology school so I could get my license in hair. With the YouTube, I do everything from makeup, hair, how to make wigs, everything from entrepreneurship. So that's me.
Me, I own a whole promotion brand. I promote upcoming businesses and private owned businesses, and I run a limousine service. I also promote music for as artists. I set my own events, open mic events. It's always downtown Chicago. I have upcoming artists to come perform. I have photographers come out to take shots at artists while they perform, and I make sure everything is free because not everybody has the budget to do what they gotta do to get it on. But I also set networking events for everybody to come out with their merch and network with everybody else that's doing their own thing. So
when did you guys start these journeys that you guys on?
Well, as far as hair, I started that 3 years ago, I'd say. I went to school for it first. I worked at a salon downtown for like a year or two. Then from there, now I work in Lake Forest at another salon. And with the YouTube, I started that 3 months ago, and it's very successful right now, so yeah.
I started my promotion business about 2016. First, I started promoting just music. And then I started getting into the field of promoting private-owned businesses everywhere downtown. That's where I be at mostly, like that's just now opening up, or rooftop bars, and I take my team there and we just do business. A lot of them book me with like my limousine service. I got an executive limo for business meetings and things like that. So that's what I've been doing ever since 2016.
Hookup.
Hey, hookup right here, right? We're gonna talk, bro. Are you guys like passionate about what you do? Why exactly do you think you benefit from it? What do you guys get out of it?
I'm very passionate about what I do because, not knocking anyone, but when I think about working 9 to 5 every day of my life, I cannot picture myself doing that for the rest of my life. I wouldn't even feel right if I didn't even try to fulfill my own goals in life and at least try to pursue it.
Honestly, I love it because the point that I get to put a lot of people on without worry about them having to have so much money and this and that. So I do a lot of things for people for free. If I help you get on, bro, just remember,
Well, we can get more into how you guys started off and where you guys are now and the whole process.
I didn't know what I was gonna do in high school. I just listened more so to like what my parents told me to do. After high school, I went to college for early childhood. Didn't want to do that at all. I was listening more so to what everyone told me to do. I always been passionate about hair. In high school, that's all I wanted to do. Yeah, a lot of people used to ask me what I used to do with my hair. How did I get this way? I used to always watch YouTube videos on how to do hair. I went to school for it, took it seriously, and I realized that's something I really wanted to do in life.
So after graduating high school, did you feel completely confused, or did you know the direction you wanted to go in? Did you have an idea?
I didn't have no idea. It honestly started from a friend of mine that was doing my tattoos, and I noticed he never had a job. He always had the nicest things, his own car and things like that.
Shout out to Lil
Right.
Shout out to Lil T's. He actually got songs with a lot of well-known artists. It's I always looked at that and was like, why would I want to go to work if you can do what you want to do and love it and make money off of it? So that's why I did what I did the way I did it.
Do you think school negatively or positively impacted your dream, your decision on what to do next?
On the business side, because I went to a lot of school events where it taught us entrepreneurship, how to build your own business career. As far as the business side, yes. But as far as following your dreams, other than being a doctor, teacher, it didn't teach me that. They didn't teach me that I could make money doing hair. They didn't teach me I could make money doing YouTube. You know, they taught me more so, oh, you should do this, go to college, and then you'll be successful, which is not true for like a lot of people.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. After you graduated high school, you started like working and stuff like that. Did you use the money that you got from working to fund your own events and fund your own stuff? So how does that work? Talk about like that process.
My first job was at Honda, so my checks wasn't like there, but I always made sure like I put 50% of my check towards my next event. I kept it consistent so I can keep the events going, so people won't be like, oh, you ain't did this and that in a few months. So I use most of my checks for everything I do.
You have to.
Once you started like working and doing hair like on the regular in the shop, were you happy with your job?
Because that was the best job I ever had. Working downtown was like really nice. But I worked 7 to 7 almost every day. I would take clients back to back almost every day without a break. But you're dealing with all types of people. So you'll have some that's like the best and then some that has attitude. So you have to deal with that on a daily basis. Also, working underneath someone never made me happy because I don't want to listen to what someone else tells me to do. I want to make up my own rules, make up my own hours, you know, get paid the amount I want to get paid. I wasn't happy, but like he said, I use my money and use it towards my craft because that's the only way you're going to make it.
So how did you guys go about like branding yourself? Taking the steps to do the things that you want to do is one thing, but actually branding yourself and becoming known for the things that you love to do and wanting to do, it's like another thing. So how exactly did you brand yourself into King? How did you brand yourself into Kyra or Oriana?
I'll let you go.
I branded myself into King by just making sure the respect I gave out, I received, and I just made sure I just stood on it, never change up. I stayed loyal to the same people. Any new people I allowed in my life who I knew that they was coming in my life to, bring positive energy and not any negative energy. Some of my friends that was doing some things, and I actually turned their life around by making them hang around me and, making them see different things. So definitely. I feel like that's like a King motive that I just go by.
So for me, just like he said, I had people around me who were on the same path as me. As far as branding myself, I had to recreate my entire life because I feel like the things I was on when I was probably like 17 to 20, I'm not the same person I am now. So I had to start over, make it more business-like rather than just random stuff on my page. So I had to do everything over.
So this is a real deep topic. I personally like to talk about because I feel like
it's your turn.
You feel me? It's my turn. Professionalism is like a really big conversation that a lot of people have, especially me and a lot of my friends. I like to maintain the ultimate amount of professionalism in business. I don't like to mix personal with business at all. The way I deal with clients, the way that I communicate, just stuff like that. So I want to have an open conversation about it so that we can kind of get the ball rolling on this. So do you think it's difficult to maintain a certain level of professionalism?
Depending if you're working with your friends or a lot of your clientele is friends, because you have to keep it separate from business and being friends. That's hard. You have to set rules and standards and everything.
It'd be pretty hard to work with your friends because everybody just say you selling clothes, everybody want that discount.
You feel me?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I will say that's very important.
Right. I would say that it's very important to maintain a certain level of professionalism it's a respect thing. And I feel like anyone who respects you will respect your hustle and respect your craft. It's always gonna be those friends and those family members who ask you for them discounts, It's really up to you and how far you're gonna let them take it, how often you're gonna let them be comfortable with asking you this when they should really wanna support you and what you wanna do. Especially if you're like an artist or entrepreneur and they know that you're building a brand from the ground up. They should really wanna support you so they can get you out here and help you out. So I just want everybody to be very mindful of that and think about that while trying to go forward in your businesses, whether it's a clothing line, whether you do hair or makeup. Do not be taken advantage of by the people who say that they love you, because if they loved you, they would want to support you wholeheartedly, period.
And you know your work. So
you know your work.
You're not work-free things. So.
Right. How do y'all feel about those clients or those people that you work with that try to get on that with you? How do y'all deal with those?
Like try to come on to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel as though they don't respect me. They don't take what I do seriously, and I feel as though I'm not worth it to them. You have to leave them people alone, honestly. You have to continue what you're doing, and just somebody is going to be willing to take you seriously if they don't.
But it just
Continue doing what you're doing.
And it could get hard because it's some fine ass. But at the end of the day, you have to maintain that level of professionalism no matter what. There's no doing too much with your clients and stuff like that, especially for a photographer, especially for a fine photographer like that. There's a very thin line between like you know, I'm just saying like it could get very messy out here. It could become known as, oh, that guy who's sleeping with his models and stuff like that. That's not a good name. That's not a good look. You feel me? Like, ain't nothing cool about that. It's very unprofessional and it makes your whole business look like a joke. That's absolutely the number one rule on my list for professionalism when it comes to that. I hear about a lot of people in the industry, whether it's like a model or a makeup artist or anybody who gets hit on by other people that they work with. If you want your brand to be known as something, then you have to do better, be above.
Exactly.
So, now we're going to talk about the good and the bad experiences and the hardships and the downfalls, because everything isn't all peachy keen. You feel me? Like, it's like a lot with this stuff behind the scenes that people wouldn't even know about. We have to personally go through and endure. So I want to talk a little bit about that as well. So what would you think the highest point was of your career or your path that you're on, and what do you think the lowest point was?
Well, the highest point for me would be landing a job in the career that I wanted, which is hair. Because after I graduated cosmetology school, I didn't know what I was going to do. I ain't talking about, I just graduated and just, that was it. And it's also about who you know in your life that will help you become the person you are. Destiny, she also went to school for hair. And since I knew her, she was working at the salon downtown. And result, I started working at the salon downtown. So it's about connections. That was the highest point. But the lowest point, I'm trying to think, because it's some struggles on a daily basis. So,
I feel that.
trying to brand myself with the YouTube, trying to get it started at first. A lot of strangers will actually promote you and help you out, but your friends, the ones who, you know, this bothers me because you will have friends, people who grew up with you and they won't support you at all. But people who completely don't know you, they will support you throughout everything. To me, that was kind of the lowest because I take my friends very seriously. Networking, all that very seriously. So for me, that kind of hurts. But, you know, you live and you learn.
I would probably say my highest point, I say I was literally about to live just straight off my business and not have my job no more. Like I say, business got its ups and downs. I'm not at the full peak, you feel me? So I had to keep that job just for consistent money. Yeah. But I was at a point where I could have just quit my job, but I knew that up and down would come and I got bills to pay, so everybody knows. My lowest point, man, was when I had my first event and I didn't know who was gonna come. You know, I was like really scared to the point where like who really supported, because that's when you know who really supports you. Yeah, like,
yes.
I did my first event at the Niche Art Gallery downtown and I paid like $500 for like 3 hours. I'm like, yo, don't nobody come. I don't know if I'm gonna slow it down a little bit or something, but it actually went kind of good. Every nervous moment I have is like my lowest point because I don't know the outcome of it at all.
If you don't fail, you will never succeed or something.
Yeah,
somebody said that, so that's why I live
by.
You have to fail sometimes.
And to like kind of touch base on what he was just saying about living off your business. So this is a question that I get asked like very often, so I want to touch on it a little bit as well. Photography is my living, you know. I had a job in high school, worked at JCPenney for like 2 months, but then I got fired because it just really wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me, right? But I was doing like studio work, stuff like that. So that was like a really fun experience. Interact with kids and families and stuff like that, because that's not stuff that I normally do. So it took me out of my comfort zone, and it was a job. It was something that I like to keep up with, but at the end of the day, it wasn't paying enough. Like the checks that I would get in 2 weeks, I would make in one photo shoot. It was keeping me occupied. It was keeping me self-disciplined, you know, like with my time, because I'm just not self-disciplined on my time. So I kept the job kind of because of that, but it really wasn't like worth it. So I kind of played around with it. I ended up like not working there anymore. The season was over, and I fully worked for myself pretty much. And I do this by maintaining a clientele. And I was explaining this to one of my friends earlier. She asked me like, how do you maintain living without a job. And I'm just like, I think it's your clientele, and I think it's the way you brand yourself, honestly. And a lot of people think it's just like about the money and stuff like that. You have the money and you're gonna spend the money, you're gonna make the money back, but it's about who you associate yourself and your brand with, really. People who will come to you consistently, and it's also about your attitude and your professionalism, especially. If people learn to trust you in the industry and in business, they will come back to you consistently. They'll always be there. They'll always support you. They'll always encourage you. I genuinely have a passion for what I do. You gotta be passionate about this. If you don't have passion for what you do, it shows. I don't know if y'all think it doesn't show, but it shows. People can tell if you want to do your job or not. I always come into work with a frame of mind of, this is this person's photo shoot. I gotta give them the best that I got and the best that they've got. You feel me? Like, even if I'm having a bad day or something like that, this has nothing to do with this client, period. Shake that. You feel me? Like, you'll be cool. I just feel like it's very important to pay attention to who you associate yourself with and where you're gonna make your business grow. Find your crowd that would profit you the most. Kind of market towards that crowd. Market yourself. I say this all the time if y'all follow me on social media.
Let me touch bases on that too, because my first YouTube video I did terrible. I thought I had everything right. I bought a ring light, bought a camera. A ring light broke the same day. My camera did not work. I had to film with my phone. Probably 16 takes until I got it right. So no matter how hard it was, and no matter like if I felt like it was the best, I still posted it because I knew I need to do that so I could get better and fulfill what I need to do with my YouTube. Put my link down so they can watch my YouTube.
So we're going to talk about networking pretty much, and what the best forms of networking would probably be. And it's different for everybody. For instance, my best form of networking would be like New York Fashion Week. It's very busy out there, fast crowd. If you're a photographer, I strongly suggest that you go experience New York Fashion Week. Plug yourself in some of the shows, look up some of the hashtags on Instagram and see what fashion shows are out there. Everybody's looking for a photographer, so you can get into a show easily. Go out there, the models, they'll all flock to you. You feel me? So, especially if you're good. So get out to New York Fashion Week, and that's a very good place to network. For someone who does hair or someone who wants to throw events and stuff like that, what do you guys think would be the most successful networking?
I'll type in hair, and whatever pops up in Chicago, I'll try to like at least go there. But everything is networking to me. Like right now, I can network with him. I already, just anyone in general you can network with. So, yeah. But I had to work on that because I used to say no to events. I wasn't that type of person.
Get out your box.
Get out your box.
So
Exactly.
Really,
everything is networking.
Yeah.
The events I do for networking, I make sure it's just in busy areas, and I make sure it's open to the public. And majority of my events, I make sure it's free, so if anybody outside want to come in, you never know who comes in. Like I met a few people that came straight off the street that actually own a business, so that's why I always do it downtown. Any event, I make sure it's downtown, make sure it's open to the public, and that's how I get a lot of different businesses coming in. And I love that.
Briefly talk about social media, where you can find them, pretty much their platform if you guys are interested in following them. So,
well, first my Instagram is Kyra Oriana, Kyra Oriana, and the same thing for my YouTube.
I'm gonna put it in the bio. I'm gonna put it all in the description so y'all can click it.
Upload every Wednesday and Sunday.
Every Wednesday and Sunday. Check out her channel, beauty tips.
Everything, beauty.
Everything.
Skincare, the whole nine. I find wigs for $17 and turn it into something special, okay? So check it out.
You can follow my main Instagram, onereal.king. That's my main page. You can follow my business page, which is Rich Minds Promotions. No special words, it's Rich Minds Promotions. My Rich Minds Promotion page is going to be for my events and things like that now. I don't post my music on there no more. My main music page is Rich Minds Music. And you can just follow both of those to stay updated on anything I got going on.
I'm Zeus. This is Zeus Views. My official website actually is going to be up by next Tuesday. So it's going to be zeusviews.com. I'm still doing some like updates and working on it and stuff like that. You feel me? I know I'm a little late. Don't kid me. Yeah, y'all can follow me there if y'all want to check out some of my work. And also follow my YouTube channel, Zeus Views. I just created it. My subscribers getting up there, you feel me? I really appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. I know a lot of people have been telling me that they were looking forward to Zeus Views and stuff like that. So I really, really, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate you guys and the support and the encouragement. So thanks for tuning in, and we out. Peace.